NERDSoul.
All right. Ha. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta holding down, be that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of BlackTogether. You're supposed to do more than that.
That's all you get.
I said BlackTogether. Alright, Lady Lisa, say hey.
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
Oh God.
I'm just trying to talk. Hey.
we ain't look. Apparently, it's not just us. This is a whole family affair today. So it ain't gonna be no hateration, a holleration.
It's gonna be a whole lot of holleration.
But we gonna talk about Will Smith, because Will Smith came up on my feed and said, "Yo, man, it's been a minute." And I was like, "Word?" I was like, "Yo, what you got to talk about?" I ain't seen you, dog. I thought you went out wherever Russell Simmons was. You know what I'm saying? And so we gonna see what he's saying. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. So anyway, here we go. All right. So to get it started, he said it's been a minute. Over the last few months, I've been doing a lot of thinking and personal work. I don't know what personal work. Maybe working on another movie or something? Or is he talking about working on himself?
Working on himself. That's what he means.
All right, that's word up. Then you asked a lot of fair questions. Talk about me. I ain't asked a lot of fair questions. I ain't asked nothing. I guess he talking to somebody else. Maybe he talking to you. You asked him something. I ain't asked him nothing either. You asked a lot of fair questions that I wanted to take some time to answer. All right, so that's all right. Let's see. He gonna answer something. I love Will, but Will's straight acting in this joint. He could have just turned on the live stream. He got to come in with the slow focus.
No. Will does productions.
Yeah.
We know this. He's, in all fairness, even before this whole debacle, when he was doing his YouTube stuff, he did full productions. True that. So I ain't gonna dog, but I was like, he got the slow focus while he sits down with the. Yeah, like he could be going to the golf course today, and you're gonna get the different angles of him putting.
Yeah,
he's gonna sit down and tell you what he was thinking in this moment.
Yeah,
he had PGA.
Yeah, you would have thought he was Tiger Woods Jr. out there. Shouts to this video got 1.7 million views, so it's gonna have 1.7 million plus one with me. All right, now my man said, I ain't apologized to what Chris in my acceptance speech. I was still mad. He said I was still fogged out at that point.
And I know what he means by fogged out. What he means is
I was still hot.
I was still in a place where I can't believe what I just did. And I'm still, as I'm going through and doing the things I'm supposed to do, accepting this award and all of these things are still going on. I'm processing what in the world I just did and how I should handle it, on top of me being mad, that started this whole thing. So I get what he's talking about. And all of this is processing all in the same, going super fast.
All while calling Serena Daddy crazy. Look,
yes.
He was like, I ain't slapped nobody. Did Serena Daddy slap somebody?
I'm sure he has at some point.
Well, he probably ain't slapped nobody. He ain't slapped nobody on TV though.
No.
Alright, so the apology to Chris. Okay, so peep this. He comes out and says, "Yo, I reached out to Chris's people, and the word back was like, I don't want to talk right now. When we want to talk, we'll reach out, right? So that's the word. So then he goes on to apologize to Chris. So it's almost like you're kind of manipulating the situation, because we didn't need to know that information, right. But now that the information is public, you know how reporters are and stuff. They're going to be like, Chris, have you heard anything new from Will Smith? Are you going to respond to Will Smith? So almost in a way, he's like manipulating this situation. And why he had to do this on my birthday? You know what I'm saying? Yes, I just made it about me. So anyway,
completely made this about
you.
He
was like, I'm
gonna sit down and do this on my NERDSoul's birthday.
I don't want NERDSoul to have no fun today.
No, but my thing about it too is, he said he would contact me when he's ready to talk. So in my opinion, that tells me you need to respect his space.
Yep.
And sit back and be quiet. and be patient until he's ready to talk to you. But you pretty much say, well, I'm going to say what it is I wanted to say anyway. I'm going to go ahead and apologize to you via video. It's like, no. You
didn't slap me on video.
Thank you.
You slapped me in person.
You need to sit back, be quiet. Don't give us your apology.
Yeah.
Just be quiet until you can give him the apology he deserves in person.
What this is, we 1 minute and 13 seconds in. What this is an apology to us to put pressure on Chris Rock to accept an apology from him.
So that people will stop canceling these movies that try to get Will Smith to make.
Like, look, man, stop canceling my movies. All right? I'm trying to make Bad Boys 8.
They like, have you gotten things straight with Chris Rock? No, not yet. Well, talk to us when you...
Talk to us after you unslap Chris Rock. Thank you. Alright, so before he go too far, he did apologize to the family. He said, he saw something with the mama, he saw the interview with his mom, and Tony Rock used to be his boy, he used to be cool, and he was like, this is probably irreparable. And so I get that, because he was like, yo, I wasn't thinking all the people that was going to be hurt. Of course you didn't, because you was being manipulated by the temptress. All right.
But in all seriousness though, I respect him for that. That kind of like, I don't know. That's kind of almost like an aha moment of when he said it's probably irreparable. That's to take that in and to realize that, to first realize this affected so many other people in so many other relationships, and it's more than likely not going to be, repairable. I feel for him in that, because I don't know, what do you do with that? Because then you have to somehow go on, right? But then it's like you have to get to a point where you forgive yourself, really. When all of this is all said and done and kind of over with, it can be to a point where Chris Rock and all of his family and people forgive him, but the relationship still ain't there. You can forgive people and still not reconcile, right? And I think that's what'll happen, and he has to live with that. And that's hard. That's got to be hard.
Yeah, because it might be like, all right, I forgive you, but stay over there.
Pretty much.
Like, and I have some relationships where it's like, I forgive you, and I have no ill will towards you.
Yep.
But I don't want to chill with you.
Yep, exactly.
I don't want to be around you.
Yep.
I've laid that chapter to rest.
Yep. Because if we hang out again, we're gonna have the same foolishness to happen again.
And I don't want to have to be a habitual line stepper. All right, so
not verbally.
The question was, after Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? And he said no. Now peep this.
He laughed and said no, but it's like not verbally.
Not verbally, but in her eyes, she said, you better do something. You better do something. He talked about my bald head. You the one who had a bald head. Women that had wigs for years. You could have slapped a hat on. But nah, you could have slapped one of them hair hats on. Look, I've seen many a black woman house with that styrofoam head, with like 3-4 styrofoam heads to all kinds of dudes on them.
There are women walking around with full heads of their own hair and still
got a wig. It's like, ain't nothing wrong with the hair you got. Right. So she, what is it? What is it, little guy?
Okay.
No.
Because you
gonna come. You gonna derail. You gonna come with something crazy.
You can't.
I already know.
I know.
You're trying to derail the conversation.
You gonna say something crazy about Will Smith? We ain't got time.
Okay, Will Smith.
I know he slapped Chris Rock.
He called him. The little guy called Will Smith a slapper.
I don't know if we could call Will Smith a slapper at this time, because Will Smith has only slapped one person. Now,
That's
say
Chris Rock.
Yes, we know that.
That's Chris Rock.
Just in case you didn't know.
Just in case you didn't know, that was Chris Rock. So if Will had slapped say 3 people on 3 different occasions, so he slapped Chris Rock this year. Say if he slapped someone else back in 2017, and then we found out, oh snap, he slapped 2 people in 2012. I'd be like, oh snap, he's a slapper. He's like a serial slapper. Like, you'll never know, but see, he's never slapped nobody. You know what I'm saying? That we know of. Maybe it's secret slaps. But we don't know about, we can't call him a slap.
We only know about the public slap.
We only know about the public ones. But did Jada say something? Oh, yes, she did. So Jada had nothing to do with it, though it was a joke about Jada. He said he made a decision based on his history with Chris. Has Chris slapped him? Maybe Chris slapped him, like, and we don't know about it. Like, maybe back in days, Chris smacked him. Like, say Will was like, hey, your girl got big ears or something, and he smacked Will. It's like, keep my girl's name. And then when he said something about Jada, when Chris said something about Jada, he flashed back to that. It's like, I gotta return the slap.
That has nothing to do with nothing.
Well, he said based on his history with Chris. So that's what he said. I'm just saying what Will told me. Will just right now told me.
But I thought it said that Chris had said something about Jada before.
Yeah, at the other award show, but he ain't say nothing. But he ain't say nothing like damaging. He ain't say nothing any other comedian would not say. He did not say anything crazy. He was just like, you ain't invited to this because this is the Oscars and you on a TV show, so you ain't even in no movies, so you ain't invited no way. And he was like, it's like me being disinvited to like Rihanna's, area. Because I won't invite it no way.
That kind of was a jab, because because she led the campaign to like boycott.
Yeah, but and he's still, like, the only reason she cared is because Will was in the movie. Will ain't never stood up for no black power empowerment stuff in her life. But stop it.
But the point is, Chris Rock did make a joke about her, so I guess.
So what? He's a comedian.
I understand that. I'm not justifying Chris. I'm not justifying it. What I'm saying to you is we're talking about what he just said.
He's bubbling up. That was the beginnings of the bubbles.
He said history, and that's the history he's talking about. So that's the point I'm making.
He's like, you made a joke on my wife.
Exactly.
All right. So we got, you know what I'm saying? Just following his history. Make sure we know. All right. Now, this is an interesting one. It says, what would you say to the people who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down? Now, I ain't going front. I'm one of those people because, I came up, Will Smith was like a hero, son. Like, I ain't going front. From Fresh Prince to, from the music Fresh Prince to the TV show Fresh Prince to Bad Boys to Independence Day. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was a fan. Wild West 2, yes. Men in Black. Like, I was a fan, and I was like, yo, Will is the biggest movie star, and not only is he a brother, but we don't never see him in no mess. You know what I'm saying? Because whenever you're dealing in Hollywood, which is just a microcosm of like, white media in general. What I mean by white media is media that is controlled and has a certain particular purpose and voice to uplift a certain community or demographic. So in this case, Hollywood uplifts the visions and virtues normally of white people. Normally you see white heroes, white heroines, they're all out there living their best life, doing everything that's awesome. And, black people or any other people out there get to be friends or, the sidekicks or tag-alongs. Now, in recent history, things have slowly started to change because there's so much media that, they have started to branch out and hire and cast other people, and there's different directors. But by and large, it is more, when it comes to writing, when it comes to directing, when it comes to production, it is still a white-led industry. So in this case, we look at this man in a white-led industry where we know they love to tear a brother down. And I'm like, yo, man, he out there, he doing it. He ain't in jail. There ain't no drug uses. There ain't no, guns and, people fights and, car crashes or drinking and driving. None of that. Everything's all good. This man you can't stop. This man is a king out here. He's like a superhero. So it's like I looked up to him sort of like an older brother kind of thing. And when the slap happened, it's not going to stop me from like watching Bad Boys or something. But I mean, it did. I was just like, dag, man, dag. like, not you, Will. Like, almost like, Will, they got him. Like, they got him. Like, they got him out here in this crazy Hollywood, and they finally got him. They finally got something. I think Eddie Griffin is the one that said that they always want to put an asterisk by your name. You know, they always want to put an asterisk up there, no matter who you are. They always want to say, like, oh, Barry Bonds was a great player, but he was juicing. Or they want to say, oh, Bill Cosby is an awesome man, and he created jobs for so many people. He changed the level of enrollment at HBCUs. He created and started the careers of so many black people, and created jobs and put the money in food in their mouths and their families' mouths by extension. But guess what? You know what I'm saying? They always want to put an asterisk. And I was like, Will Smith is that one dude that they can't do it. You know, like Will, Denzel, he's another one. Like, you know, these are the ones they can't do it. There's nothing, you know, there's nothing funny style they can put on him. And now I was like, man, he gave him that. You know what I'm saying? It's, and don't get me wrong. I know, I understand. Even that has a problem. There's even a problem in that, in the way you look at that, when you put it up against white supremacy. But it's still kind of like, dang, man, come on, Will. But that's kind of how I felt. So it's not like I am not on the boycott Will train. But at the same time, I was just like, dang, Will, man, they got you.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt the same way. You know, it was disappointing. You know, it really was disappointing. I felt like he let this whole thing really get the best of him. I felt like it was whether it was spoken or unspoken, there was pressure that he felt from Jada, whether it was verbal or not. I felt like it was a matter of pressure from Jada. I felt like he felt disrespected as a man, and he let the emotions and feelings get the best of him in that moment, and it totally clouded his judgment. But I feel bad for him in the sense of the how can I put it? Because he's never had any issues, and year after year goes by and he hasn't had any major issues, he hasn't been in any kind of trouble, the higher the pedestal that people put him on. Yeah. So when you finally have a transgression, the harder you fall. And I think that's what's happened now. So I feel sorry for him in that sense, because it's like, he, you know, okay, in all the years that Will Smith has been out here, this is, you know what I'm saying? It took this long for him to, I don't know, be human, make a very, very bad decision. And I think people have come at him in some ways that are unfair. Some of it is justified, but it's definitely
unfair. But it's led. The reason it's led unfairly is because he's black. Well, if this was a white guy, we've actually seen white guys act out.
True.
On the
but
Oscars.
I think I'm talking about from us as black folks too.
Oh, okay.
You know, which could still be racism. We know that, but I don't know. So I feel bad for him in that sense, and I think, you know, I don't know Will personally, but I just feel like he internalizes stuff so much, and that he has the need to have people portray him as good all the time. You know, I think he feels like he's disappointed people when he does anything wrong, and that it's hard for him to let that go. He internalizes it and carries that guilt and that pain so often. And that's a heavy burden for you to try to be everything to everybody. And I think that's what Will Smith does. And it's going to be the death of him, honestly.
True. I'll give you that. So let's see what my man say. All right. So Will say, you know, it does hurt him when he disappoints folks.
He said that is his, what did he say? That is
his central trauma?
His central trauma. His central and emotional trauma.
Which is, you know, letting people down or not letting people down. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I can get it. And in this, he seems genuine.
He seems very genuine. Honestly, he seems like he's trying. Two things I thought of looking at this. He's trying not to cry, right?
Yeah.
And he's trying to remember what his therapist told him. That's the vibe I'm getting from him, and how he's speaking about himself. Yeah. I get the impression that his therapist has been trying to help him in terms of how he speaks about himself. Right? Because he mentioned, I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of S.
Yeah.
Right?
And trying to be remorseful without being ashamed.
Exactly. So that sounds like something, a therapist would have to help him through, because that has to be, what did I say? It's when it's all said and done, when everybody else has come to terms with it and everything, you have to then be able to forgive yourself. And in my opinion, for a lot of people, I think especially for people like him, whose central trauma is pleasing other people, when it's all said and done, you have to do the work to forgive yourself, which I think is probably the most difficult, because you're sitting there day after day with this opinion of yourself, how you really, really feel about what you did, and you're just unable to let that go. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think he has the need to be perfect and to be perceived as perfect. And of course, that's what would drive anyone crazy, because there's no such thing, right?
Yeah.
There's just no such thing. And I think even in the times in his private life when he indeed has not been perfect, at least no one knew about it because it was private.
Yeah, because it was a private moment. Now, with the advent of Jada, come on, man. Like, it's hard to do this talk without mentioning Jada, because any of the sans the slap, any negativity in Will's life in recent history, meaning the last 5 to 10 years, has been spurned from Jada.
Absolutely.
So it's not like Will is out here doing crazy stuff.
And I'm gonna tell you, that red table talk has been the bane of his existence.
Man, I bet you if we could crawl inside his mind, he'd be like,
he would burn that red
I
table.
wish I could burn that table down
remember,
and stomp on the ashes.
Remember, he said he came home one day and
she was filming.
And his home had turned into this studio.
Yep.
With this red table.
Yep. So she made this decision without him.
Yeah, so the way this even started was not
cool,
to say the least.
So I came home and all of a sudden my wife want to play guru in the garage.
And see, that's one of 2 times that I recall that he's made a comment about that had to do with doing work or production in their home. Because remember when she put the camera in his face and was asking him questions, and he was like, I'm in my home.
He's like
I'm
at
relax.
home.
I'm trying to have my coffee. So he's expressed at least twice to us that he values the sanctity of his home.
Like, home is where I should be able to chill out, put my feet up,
right?
Kick it,
without you walking over to me with this camera in my face or with this red table in my doggone house. But he entertains her. He indulges her.
Because now, whenever she got guests, guess where they gotta come to?
Right.
My house.
And she's convinced him to come on the show several times and do all these things. And I think he had done a pretty good job of, even though there had been rumors going around about their relationship and stuff, they were rumors, right?
Yeah.
But at this point, with this red table talk and all of that, we've gotten some inside information on their relationship. And I think it has been to their detriment, honestly.
Yep.
To his detriment.
To his detriment. Jada
she
don't
thinks
care.
It's great.
Yeah, Jada wants
attention.
Yeah, she wants this weird attention that, like, kind of like this tea attention sort of kind of thing.
Right.
And this kind of fake garage guru, because I mean, it's in his garage. He said he came back and his garage was a studio. So, like, She a garage guru.
Well, I mean, it's not in the garage
she out
anymore.
there talking
I mean,
about
when you look at it, it's clearly not in the garage. It's in the house.
Yeah, but I mean, it's, you know, she's a garage guru as far as I'm concerned. And then he come back and she out here acting like she, you know, oh, well, you know, this is the season of healing. Healing, really? Really? You out here? That's what you're doing? You're healing, folks?
She's seasoning and healing.
Yeah, she's seasoning.
But, you know, I feel bad for him in this moment because, like, looking at his face, you can see that he's in pain. You know what I mean? He's having a very hard time coming to terms with this. I think he's having a very hard time moving on in life.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because he cannot forgive himself. Now, and I think it's hard for him too because he has no idea if Chris has forgiven him because Chris isn't ready to talk about it yet.
Yeah, and the, you know, media don't help. Because every time he pop up, it's gonna be like, "How you doing, Will? How you feel? How's the arm, buddy?" It's like it's always gonna be somebody trying to say something smart.
I mean, you got 4-year-olds calling you a slapper. You know, it's just
yo, you don't understand. NERDSoulite been saying Will Smith smacked Chris Rock like mad time.
He'll just bust out in the middle of nothing and go, "Well, why did Will Smith slap Chris Rock in the first place?" I don't know. I mean, like it's a long story, sir.
Like you have people that are like 4 and 5 years old. All they know about Will Smith is that he slapped Chris Rock because. The boy, we was chilling,
and this boy he sang "Summertime,"
and he sang "Summertime," and this boy was like, "All right, hold on," and I was like, "What's up?" He said, "Will Smith smacked Chris Rock in the first place." I was like,
yes, he did.
I was like, I mean, yeah, but that has nothing to do with what we were talking about.
I guess he was just like, I'm just trying to unpack this information once again.
Trying to figure out how this happened. But let's continue.
At this point, I do feel bad for him, you know, because I think he's having a very hard time getting past this. And like I said, forgiving himself, and he's allowing this to override everything he's been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's allowing this to totally nullify everything that he's done and everything that he's been. And, you know, that's not okay. We can't, I mean, you can't control what other people think and do and say, and the media has no love for you. So you can't go by.
Yeah, the media been waiting to tear you down for a minute.
Right. And they feast off of people's demise. So you can't go by that. But I feel bad for him because I think he's allowing this whole event to overshadow everything he's done, and it's like that's not okay. You know, he didn't you know, scalp he didn't like skin a child. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't kill younglings.
He didn't, you know, drown a kitten.
Yeah, it's like, yo, Will, I know you watching this. I know you listening to this podcast right now. Yo, son, got your back, man. All right, next, where you want to put out Bad Boys 4? You know what I'm saying? You want to put out Hancock 2?
Yeah.
Yo, on the real, I don't know why he hasn't.
For that for years.
I don't know why he hasn't expanded on Hancock, especially since Heroes is one. I think Hancock was ahead of his time. That's one, and two. Also, superheroes is hot now. But then also, I Am Legend, my brother. Now, I know you and Michael B. Jordan supposed to be doing something. Now, I know you slapped somebody. But, I mean, that's over. Look, slap is slap. All right, it's out there. So now, look, just go on and make sure your next movie hot. And look, hey, what have you done for me lately? If your new joint is hot, people ain't going to remember that. They'll be like, did Will Smith do something? I don't know, man. This movie's dope. That's gonna be it.
They gonna forever look like, oh, you don't remember? Let's run the tape back.
You don't remember? Hold up, I got the tweet. Hold up, dog. Hold up.
It's like, oh, let's play the video back. I'm like, man.
But don't. Well, look. From NERDSoul to you. Look. You have permission. To live your life, my brother. They're gonna try to hold you down. But I want you to know.
In the grand scheme of life, in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of wrongdoing, this is so low.
Yeah, you ain't did that much wrong. I mean,
this is so, you know, and honestly, I would think, listening to that whole statement I just said, I would think Chris Rock would agree. Like, in the grand scheme of things, you know,
I mean, but
no one would expect you.
I guess it's the level of disrespect.
Yes, but no one would expect you to live the rest of your life with your head held down and, you know, like, oh, I'm just so horrible. No, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, you didn't go on stage and shoot the man.
Yeah, and Chris Rock, I got love for you, but if your white friends can say the N-word in front of your face and you defend them, it's about time for you to go in and apologize. I mean, not apologize, but accept Will's apology and move on. Cause
that's a good point.
Yeah, let's keep it real. Cause your boy gonna get stomped if he come up in my house say that. I don't care how funny he is, and he's gonna be a slap on that. But
you're gonna be a slapper.
I won't be slapping people, and I don't care. I'll slap. Look, hey, it's gonna be some slapping. There's gonna be some more slapping. Oh. But anyway, we love all y'all. Lisa, say peace.
Bye, y'all.
Of course, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. TikTok, podcast, whatever. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Love all y'all. Look, 40 years, man. I made it. About to do 40 more. I'll holla at y'all later. Peace.